Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Job, the 18th chapter. And as it says here, Bildad speaks of the wicked, similar to what we went through, I think, in the 15th chapter, as to how the these sayings concerning the wicked, can also be applied to Esau, Edom, right? Because he is the wicked. Now, when Job's friends were speaking about this, they were speaking about it like generally concerning a wicked person. But now we've seen somebody who has come on the scene, right, who embodies this wickedness, and we can see how true these words are as they take effect. And basically the fate of the wicked is applied, right, in art in real time, as we will see according to prophecy. Right, so this is Job 18:1. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, how long will it be ere ye make an end of words? Mark, and afterwards we will speak. So how long until you stop talking? NLT, how long before you stop talking? Speak sense. When it says mark, it means like say things that are sensible if you want us to answer. Wherefore are we counted as beasts and reputed vile in your sight? Why are you're now? So he's like, oh, so now we're basically like brutes. Now we don't have any wisdom. Now we're vile in your sight. He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? And shall the rock be removed out of his place? So all these chapters as we've gone through, this is a dialogue, right? That's going on here. Because remember, it says his friends came to him and they basically came to mourn with him. And then he speaks and then they respond. And now there's like this dialogue going back and forth. And that's what these chapters, as we've been going through so far, that's the setting of it, right? NLT, you may tear out your hair in anger, but will that destroy the earth? Will it make the rocks tremble? Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, which is his dwelling place, and his candle shall be put out with him. Right? So just as his candle was snuffed out, so will he. That is the fate of the wicked. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. In the NLT, it says, the confident stride of the wicked will be shortened. Their own schemes will be their downfall. NIV, the vigor of his step is weakened. His own schemes throw him down. And that's the same thing that's going to happen to Esau, right? His plotting, the traps he's laying, he's going to fall in that. That he has digged a pit and he himself is going to fall in it. He has planned 3 world wars. He has made nuclear missiles, right? He is provoking nations to use them, not seeing that it's going to destroy his kingdom and he's not getting a redo. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, right? So he is walked into a trap, and he walketh upon a snare, which is a trap. The jinn, another way of saying a trap, shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The robber is also going into a trap. So what this means is that one way or another, they're going to get caught up, right? A trap, noose, snare. They're constantly traps set for the wicked. As it says, shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. And that is the result of his of like living that wicked lifestyle, right? It all comes back to you. Okay. And those traps are really ones the Lord sets. Okay, which signify, that the day of retribution, where you gotta pay up, you gotta be held accountable for the wickedness by which you have become the wicked. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. See, and that's once again also applying to Esau, right? Because they are the wicked. And as it says, terror shall make him afraid on every side. And that those terrors are going to be from the Lord, right? From the King of terrors. I think it might be this chapter, but it mentions that as well. NLT, it says here, terrors surround the wicked and trouble them at every step. His strength shall be hunger bitten, meaning his strength is going to be depleted, is going to be abated, and destruction shall be ready at his side. So it's like the Lord has set that destruction there. It's waiting. It's like, like there's a scripture that says, hell from beneath is moved up to meet thee at thy coming. So destruction is prepared for you. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. The firstborn of death is still death, right? And that's like bringing an end to the wicked and their wicked reign, their wicked rule, and their wicked lifestyle. Right? As it says, it's going to devour the strength of his skin, i.e., it's going to bring him down to the grave. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. See? And who is the king of terrors? The Most High. NLT, it says, they are torn from the security of their homes and are brought down to the king of terrors. So when it says his confidence shall be rooted out, right, that security that they have in their dwelling places and wherever they are, the Lord is going to take that away. And that firstborn of death is going to bring them, ultimately lead them to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation, right? And that's that firstborn of death, right? That calamity and that destruction is going to dwell in his tabernacle. It's going to be in his, he's going to have death and destruction in his dwelling place. And as it says, because it is none of his, brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. See, now, generally for the wicked, that's a form of destruction the Lord will bring upon them. But for Esau, Edom, the wicked, okay, in prophecy, that brimstone is going to be via nuclear missiles, okay, that are going to scatter upon his habitation, his dwelling places, primarily here, Babylon the Great, all right, which is America today. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off, meaning they're going to be completely done away with. Because when you cut off the branches of a tree, but the roots are still alive, then it can grow back. But if the roots are dried up, destroyed from beneath, and the branches are cut off, then there's no coming back. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. See, he's not going to have a memorial, okay, or a name where people would say, oh, that's such and such, right? Or now people would still know, okay, that, yeah, these are the wicked. Like it's going to be the case with Esau. After Obadiah 1:18 takes place, there won't be Edomites on the planet. And that, like today, people think of Christopher Columbus, right? They think of George Washington. They think of these people, and their memorial is still in the earth because they're in rulership. Think about it. During the time of, say, the Mongols, right, with Genghis Khan and so on and so forth, their remembrance was alive in the earth, right? During the time of the Sumerians, during the time of the Egyptians, during the time of the Assyrians, their remembrance was in the earth because they were actively ruling. But now, centuries later, a lot of people don't even know that they existed, right? A lot of people don't even know the Assyrians are a people. They don't even know, they've never even heard about that term. See, so their memorial has perished from the earth, even though, the descendants of them are still here. They don't have a name in the land anymore like they did. And that's what's going to happen with Esau, right? Once they are destroyed and their kingdom is taken down and ours is set up, eventually, just like people today barely even know, unless they actually go into history, they wouldn't know. That's going to be the case with Esau, right? Who is the wicked. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He shall have night, because nobody's going to want him around. Okay, and eventually, once the Lord, gets finished with that judgment on him, there will be no place else left for him to go, but actually out of this of this realm. That's where you get your Obadiah 1:18. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. See, so the Lord will utterly destroy him and remove his. That's how is his remembrance preserved? Through his lineage. But if he neither has son nor nephew or any among his people, that's how you cut off his remembrance. And once again, I keep referencing Obadiah 1 and 18 because that is how this applies to Esau, right? When he gets Obadiah 1 and 18, that is how this example of the wicked being cut off happens to an example of the wicked being Esau. Verse 20, they that come after him shall be astonied or surprised at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. And also, when you go into that word after and before, they also interchange that with on the west of him and on the east of him. Okay, but it's basically anybody that hears about this is gonna be like at all like, damn, that's crazy, you know. And as it says, they that were before were affrighted. And the NLT, it says, and I'll read NIV as well. People in the West were appalled at their fates, the fate of the wicked. People in the East are horrified because it's going to be such a devastating, fate to suffer, to the point where your remembrance is completely removed, along with your, as it says, this, having no sons or nephew or anybody remaining. NIV, people of the West are appalled at his fate. Those of the East are seized with terror. Verse 21, surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not God. You see, this is basically what the end position, right, of those that don't follow the ways of the Lord, those that are wicked. This is what happens to them. And this brings us to the end of the book of Job, the 18th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachah Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.